Your 20s are the most exhilarating decade of your life when you finally emerge from the cocoon of your pimple-faced adolescence as a nubile golden god, perfectly mixing the legal ability to do anything you want, except sell ecstasy and rent a car, though that never stopped anyone, with a lack of appropriate risk tolerance to stop yourself from doing those things. Many people have high expectations for their 20s, but in reality, being an adult is constantly choosing between things you want to do and things you have to do, but really don't want to do. Should you nap? Or actually do your remote job? Should you get high in your underwear or go to that family dinner? Should you stay in your comfort zone or realize you are the captain of your soul and master of your fate and your greatest enemy is your own doubt and insecurity? Sorry, I was getting high. What were you saying? Adult life can get pretty overwhelming because every single thing you do as an adult is actually a decision. While your childhood years are defined by a lack of agency, in your 20s, seemingly overnight, you are suddenly, entirely, and utterly responsible for your own life. If you don't eat healthy or get a job, if you have no friends, if you live or die, no one gives a single flying fuck. Because of this, it's good to establish routine. That way, you decide what you want to do every now and then spend your energy actually doing it instead of spending your energy making decisions every second of every day. One of the biggest decisions you'll have to make in your 20s is deciding on a partner. Now, prior to your 20s, the desire to mate is motivated by your natural horniness. In your 20s, the desire to date is motivated by your fear of embarrassment and the need to have two income streams to be able to move out of your parents' houses. Romance is 5,000% dead. Marrying for love,
maybe, if you're in love.
Get your head out of your fucking ass. You better lock down a partner or it won't be long before you're Alzheimer shitting your pants alone. Look at China. The men there are absolutely fucked. It used to be you literally found your husband or wife on the street. Now though, thanks to the internet and the insatiable appetite of corporate growth, we date on Hinge. So if you want to avoid being like one of those men in China, here's the guide to modern courtship. By the way, if you just want to smash, you can go to Tinder, but your results may vary. Anyway, phase 1, optimizing the profile. You've only got a few seconds to make a good impression, so it's important to catch the other person's attention. Hit them with the 4-year-old photo of your good side, the photo of you and your hot friend to confuse them, and the quirky photo of you socializing. Make sure you also match the socio-cultural vibe of the area you're living in as well. And remember, never, ever give a normal-ass answer. That's fucking horrible. No one wants to date regular people anymore. You need to be on 7 antidepressants and have a dick piercing to get anywhere. After about 5 years if you're a man, and 5 nanoseconds if you're a woman, you'll get a match, and we'll move on to phase 2, the mating dance, aka messaging. Honestly, messaging is dumb, and every app should replace it with a scheduling app. What the fuck are you really gonna learn from some stupid bullshit footsie overthought 10-message conversation that is gonna convince or dissuade you from meeting up? Just admit y'all swiped on each other because y'all are physically attracted to each other and your answers didn't scream serial killer, so we can move on to phase 3, courtship. Let's face it, no one likes dating. We all want to fast forward to the relationship and having a person we can trust, an adventure buddy, and teamwork and sex, finally. But to get there, we gotta get the first date out of the way. Or you go on Tinder, like I said. Some people worry a lot about dates and feeling like they need to impress the other person. But remember, however scared you might feel about the other person, you are also extremely hot and brilliant yourself. After all, dating is the trial version of marriage and testing to see if you guys are compatible. So truly be yourself. Maybe don't bring out every single one of your weird fetishes out on the first date, but there really is no point in pretending to be someone you're not unless you plan on keeping that charade up for the rest of your life. Assuming all goes well on the first and second and third dates, soon you'll find yourself in step 4, a relationship. Once you trick someone into admitting they care about you, it's time to dump all those weird fetishes and mommy and daddy issues and basically turn them into your free therapist. You need to save for that rent money after all. After long enough, you'll move on to phase 5, marriage. Lamau, come on. Marriage. What's next? You're gonna buy a house? If dating isn't for you, the single life is only limited by your imagination. and how cool bouncers think you look. A really fun part of being an adult is a ritual known as going out, when you wear your most nicest and expensivest clothes and get in a place with a bunch of other people who have no idea what they're doing, and you all put on this performance art that everything is okay. Typically, you want to find a cool neighborhood hang you can bring your out-of-town friends to show them how cool you are, and then not go to that bar the other 364 or 365 if it's a leap year days of the year. Having a job is another classic 20s moment. For most of modern life, the dilemma was between choosing a job you love or a job that makes you money. Now the choice is between a job that will make you poor or a job that will make you literally starve to death. Getting your first real job in your 20s can be difficult since you don't have the 5 years of experience required or a time machine. So job applications are all about two things: spray and pray and lying. Straight up just lie, defraud those businesses. The worst thing they can do is fire you, which is honestly pretty fucking lit. Jobs are interesting because you can have a job where it's your job to forget to send an email, or you can have a job where you're responsible for the nation's banking system or making sure kids don't get abducted. No matter what, you'll probably have a dickhead boss. Honestly, no one likes bosses. Just remember your boss is an insecure little bitch whose dream in life is not to create or inspire, but tell other people what to do. Yeah, having a job is crazy. You just really stare down the barrel of spending most of your days doing something you don't care about, just so you can barely get by in the few hours you're out of work. And you can either save up your money to buy a few acres of land and have another go at the whole civilization thing, or you can blink. Anyway, let's talk about the real reason any of us have jobs: getting paid. Unlike relationships or hobbies, if you fumble your money and don't have nice parents, you will actually die. So this part is really important. There are some well-known rules of thumb on how to budget your money. 30% of your income should go to rent, 10 to 15% of your income should go to food, 25% of your income goes to taxes so the government can hire people to watch other people watch a pothole or hate your fucking guts for going to the DMV, which leaves you with 30% for either basic necessities or vibes. It's one or the other. Another aspect of money management that people have become really interested in is stocks. Stocks are basically a way to gamble on which companies will do good and bad. And at least unlike regular gambling, the deck isn't 100% stacked against you, it's only about 99.99% stacked against you. Think about it this way: there are a bunch of rich old white guys whose whole job it is to pick stocks, and they still pick worse than just taking the S&P 500. You want to just have the most boring, lame mainstream portfolio, which means investing in an ETF representative of the entire stock market. Basically, if the whole stock market does good, you do good. If the whole stock market does bad, you do bad. And theoretically, this is good because it minimizes the risk of picking just a few stocks and those few stocks doing bad, and the market in the long run has always steadily gone up. Tying your money to the S&P 500 is good because in every financial literacy video I've watched, they always say something along the lines of, just because the market has always gone up doesn't mean it will continue to. Which to me is like, what the fuck? What are you saying? Is there a possibility that the stock market just goes to zero one day and society collapses and the purge happens? That's very scary to me, but I'd like to tie my money to that consequence because then at least I know the people in charge are trying to avoid that consequence. Family is another important aspect of your 20s, though maybe not as important as your parents would want you to believe. Your relationship with your parents in your 20s is both exactly the same and totally different as it has been your entire life. Totally different because your parents no longer have any legal power to tell you what to do, and exactly the same because that will not stop them at all from telling you what to do. Learning how to deal, and yes, I use that word very specifically, deal with family is very important. Just remember, as an adult, it's your right, nay, responsibility to walk out of anything. Literally anything. Despite all the stresses of adult life, it's important to remember to leave time for rest and relaxation. As a kid, you did stuff for fun because it was fun. As an adult, we call that shit hobbies, and you no longer do it for fun, you do it because you will literally go batshit fucking crazy if you don't do one of these things. Your 20s are really about figuring out what you want to do with your life, but also don't take it or yourself too seriously. Relationships, jobs, friends, family, they're important, but the most important thing is you. Really, that's not selfish or arrogant, it's simply a fact of modern life where if you don't prioritize yourself, the powers that be will tear every moment of peace away from you. You know, your 20s are about prioritizing. If you're not on hard drugs, not homeless, and don't have a criminal history, you are doing really well. So what do you want to do? There's nothing stopping you from doing it, or at least trying to do it.